A fine evening to you, Soapy. And a fine evening it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time round, it seems some eager buccaneers scampered aboard a local merchantman and made off with a shipment of muskets. Now, seeing as it ain't lawful to cloy from a Luminsan vessel to begin with, the yellow jackets fell upon them daft coves before their boots was even dry. Aye, they caught the pirates right there on the docks, but the stolen boomsticks was nowhere to be found. Fenced in a longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contacted to retrieve the goods, which weren't really needful, since the code would have had us on the job anyway. You don't bite the purses of your fellow Luminsans and all that. So, this is your assignment, me natty lass. I kind of like being called nasty lass better, but whatever. Find out where the weapons went and bite that shipment back. Seeing as the cutters has hit the marksman, seeing as the cutters has hit that merchantman are already rotten in irons, you needn't rush in with your stabbers a stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet, and I got the perfect partner to show you how it's done. This here's FFXIV, the Stray. Ain't no other rogue what can match her in the arts of skulking. A pleasure. There's some problem, FFXIV? You seem a bit out of sorts. I'm bloody starving. I had one of them finger sandwiches set aside. You know, those egg-filled tasties they make at the Bismarck? But when I got back from me work, it was bloody gone. Uh-oh. Was that FFXIV's? I thought it was Underfoot's. Well, you just head out on the job and I'll see if I can turn up that missing sandwich by the time you return. Alright, Jack. One more little detail you should know. The muskets was meant for the Yellow Jackets' armoring, so once all is bob, you can hand the goods to one of their coals directly. We can start whenever you're ready, Sophie. I've had a colleague keeping a waddle out for... What are these words? Keeping a waddle out for aught that might help us, so I suggest you have a few words with her first. You'll find her at the Highland, posing as a fishmonger. It's the Highland? How does this count as like a full building? Just like a random fishmonger inside of a tower. It's so weird. Limbs is pretty, but the design for the city is just so weird. Like, it's not real buildings and stuff. It's so odd. Hello there, miss. We've carp and trout, lobster and shrimp. But I hear you tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish. The long, shiny kind, what sparkle put a bloke on its arse. We don't sell that kind here, but you might try them foreign merchants. What was they called again? The Traders of Edge. They all from the South Sea Isles and are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. I should warn you, these folk ain't ones for questioning the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more than happy to pay for goods what came from below decks, so to speak. But if you're still keen to get your hands on the rare fish, then you'd best hurry. The Edge merchant what's visiting Limsa is looking to load up and leave the city before long. Just our means to transport his goods remains a mystery, though. Talk real words. What with all the iron blades he's got nursing his operation, it makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeball the competition it does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf, but it might be as you can learn a little more from the folk around town. Traders of Edge, eh? Well, if one of their merchants been staying in the city, then someone will know something to point us in the right direction. The trick is to listen without being seen. You'd be surprised at how coals cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on places that what seen plenty of traffic. You can have the Bismarck, the Ferry Docks, and East Hawker's Alley. I'll try me luck a few other spots and meet in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hiding, keep quiet, and keep your waddles open. Are waddles eyes? Why are they called waddles? Why? When I hear waddle, I think of a penguin, right? Waddle, 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 waddle. I don't think of eyeballs. How did eyeballs become waddles? That doesn't make any sense at all. At least have some level of logic to your randomization of words. Alright, we skulk around here, all hidden in the shadows. Diving Dove appears distressed over some matter. Approach her while cloaked by your hide ability and attempt to eavesdrop on her grumbling. Diving Dove is grumbling in discontent. The sneer on that customer's face. Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly just to meet his pressing departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the South Seas, but here in Limsa folk appreciate the fine cuisine that cannot be rushed. Come now, Dove. You must not speak ill of patrons. Now, what was the next on my list? Another finger sandwich for the dutiful sisters. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. Sounds like Jack's getting another sandwich ordered. Don't worry, Vikeb. Jack's gonna get you that. Are you eating a sandwich right now? Are you eating on the job? Girl, we got work to do. You shouldn't be snacking like that. I'm just kidding. You could do whatever you want. You're cute. I like you. Garop is hawking his wares to a customer. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. We have a splendid range of produce from every corner of Eorzea, but one simply cannot visit Limsa without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lanosian orange juice? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more to your taste? Garop continues to espouse the virtues of his merchandise, but his impassioned urgings appear to have little relevance to your assignment. Alright, so not here. That just leaves the docks. Let's get going to the docks. How curious that it would happen to be happening right here in front of my location of the roguiness. Rin's Nasu appears distraught. Approach him while cloaked by your hide ability and attempt to eavesdrop on his mumbling. Rinasu is mumbling anxiously to himself. Curse my sense of duty. Would that I had stayed at the winch for that extra pint instead of returning early. I didn't ask to see anyone being bribed, and certainly not my relief pilot. I wonder what that merchant was about. Smuggling? Most likely. Should I report this to the Yellow Jackets? But what if I'm being watched? I could end up face down in the harbor. Interestingly, I should point out that a lot of people think that this works with real players, because you'll see people walking around cities as rogues in stealth all the time, and I assumed that they did this quest line, and then you were like, I can hear everyone's inner thoughts if I just walk around stealth all the time. But as you can still see me, you can still see them, like, for one thing. And for another thing, it doesn't work that way. Just saying. But people do it all the time. Welcome back, Sophie. I hope your skulking went well. You might be an angel of death with the daggers, Dub, but any rogue which shuns the shadows is headed for an early grave. A sneaky Mort can nose about without risking a scrap, or slip herself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen you, though, your rum fun is done. Hiding is part concealment and part distraction, and you won't be disappearing on a cove what already knows you're there. Alright, I'm done prattling. What'd you manage to learn about our musket-buying merchant friend? Slipping coin to a ferry pilot, was he? And by what you heard from that chef at the Bismarck, this trader means to hop the twig and soon. That matches with me own findings. He's vacated his rooms at the inn and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, we can be sure he won't be leaving without his merchandise. So here's the plan. We wait for him to stack his goods on the pier. Then you ghost in and grabble them firearms. I'm hoping we can get the job done quiet and under cover of Darkmans, but it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he's got a small army of sellswords on the payroll. Use hide. Oh, I've spotted the market in the pier. Sneak over there and lighten his load. So when she mentioned the thing about distract, and this actually I could be really wrong here, so just hold on. But I think there used to be an ability while you're in stealth where you could like cause a distraction. And so this quest used to be like a little more tricky than it is. It's obviously not very tricky at all right now. You are not supposed to be here. I thought I ordered my hirelings to keep this jetty clear. 1, 2, 3. There's one missing. My crate of muskets, it's gone. Thief! Stop her, you useless sluggards. What am I paying you for? What was the point? Now I have to fight anyway. What was the point? Like, legit, why did I even sneak in the first place? I had to fight on the way out. So anyway, I think there used to be an ability to distract, and you would throw like a stone or something, and it would make the hired merchants or hired muscle like turn and look at it. But I could be totally off base on that. I think that's what it used to do though. It's one of those skills that they definitely took out, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't... Like there's no need for it anymore. It's not like... I mean, nobody even uses hide ever, and there's a good ability that comes with hide, where like if you're... Oh, why am I going this way? I shouldn't be going this way. I should be going the other way. There's a good ability where if you're hidden, you can do like a trick shot thing. But and it does like extra damage, but you have to be in stealth in order to do it. Seriously, why did I hide the first part if I'm just gonna fight my way out? I guess even the developers were like, maybe I can hide and sneak out now. Let's see. Okay, yes. Alright. I mean, these guys are all like level 10, 12. I could totally like just wreck them, but why do that when I can do this? Aye, these are the stolen muskets. The quartermaster will be pleased. That turned hairy, didn't it, Dove? Once you reached the yellow jacket, though, the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. I'd say we're all done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the Benny news. I heard the sounds of fighting coming from outside, and now I've whittled the cause of it. I thought we were aiming for subtle on this job. That man Swads was there, but you got the yellow jackets, what they wanted, so all's well that ends well, eh? That many Swads, okay, swords, I get it. You're on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, Sophie. Aye, the job didn't unfold exactly as planned, but do you see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save you time, and a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. Speaking of unexpected developments, I have a bit of bad news for you, Vakeb. I searched high and low, but it seems some unprincipled cove has gaffled your sandwich. There were naught but crumbs to be found. No, my sandwich. It was a Bismarck special. Do you know how much I was looking forward to that meal? Me belly's about ready to cave in on itself. 'Tis the tragedy of the highest order, love, and you know I can't bear to see my rogues in such distress. So I gave Underfoot a special assignment. He should be back any moment now, with a freshly made Bismarck special finger sandwich. You did that for me? You're not japping with me, are you, Jack? This ain't no japping matter. 'Tis the guildmaster's responsibility to see that all his coves and morts are all their best for the job. Aye, Jack, there you are. I've got that sandwich you ordered. And didn't the chef give me a waddle full when I said he was in a hurry? Maybe next time you could think twice before you yaffle a fellow rogue sup. Oh, bollocks. What's that music? Jack? Did you eat my supper? Now, lass, let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here for you. No harm done, eh? You cloyed something what belonged to me, Jack, and I can't ignore the code. Ah, hi, the code. We mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't you, lass? Lass? Ah! That might be the swiftest string up I've ever seen. A punishment to fit the crime. Take a good long look, Sophie. The code exists to preserve peace in Limsa, to keep the alleys from running red with blood. This city's me home, and I'll draw daggers on any cove fool enough to threaten that peace. Pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey, do you mean to leave me out here all night? At least you gave me a grand view of the harbor. God's pissed, these ropes are tight. And now we find ourselves indebted to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. The impropriety of it all. Would that I could see them occupying the cell next to those thieving pirates.